Then I began to explain to Drax the origin of the demons and Devoth the god. I explained Genesis. I said in the beginning there was nothing but darkness and God's face hovered over the void of darkness and the face of the deep, but the darkness wasn't empty, it was filled with evil creatures that have always existed. We call them demons, and for a time Devoth sealed them away until his own children betrayed him for wanting to make humans immortal. He didn't want us to die, so because heaven wanted to keep its structure and cycle of life intact, they chose to keep the humans mortal, so they cast out their own creator Devoth and they sent him to the darkness that he despised. But even in hell Devoth still held power, and he decided that if he couldn't make all humans immortal, then any humans sent to him would be made into immortal demons, and that began the first hell and the consumption of the first earth. And during the consumption of the first earth, Devoth transformed billions of humans into demons, and for centuries this cycle has continued. The demons invade earth and they consume a planet, transforming its population into demons. If they can succeed, a planet becomes part of their realm of hell, until they met me, and I stopped them many times already, and for years I have been searching for Devoth so I can kill and take all his powers into myself. And then Drax the Destroyer said I need a drink and maybe a cigarette, and then Drax said I'm going to get drunk now. And then I asked Drax, haven't you heard anything I just said? And then Drax said, yes, I heard everything you just said, and after you and me fought all those demons today, I just now realized that they can actually succeed. And then Drax went and got stupid drunk and he started telling everyone about the demons, and he became fearful for the first time in his life, and he called everyone fools in a bar, and he said, you're all fools, you have no idea what's coming, and demons are coming to kill you all one day and you can't stop them, there's too many of them, even your greatest warriors can't kill all of them. And then the bikers in the bar said, dude, relax and have a drink. And then Drax said, I don't need your damn drink or your money, I have friends for that. And he pointed at me, you foolish humans are not prepared for what's coming. And then Drax grabbed a nearby biker and he said, I don't need to relax, dude, the only thing standing between you humans and total annihilation are the Doomslayers. This man right here is the only reason they are afraid of this world. And then the biker said, yes, we know all about Kenshiro, he's Earth's greatest hero. And then Drax laughed and said, that's not all he is, he's the only reason why you're all still breathing, bunch of morons. And then I said, Drax, you're starting to scare them. And then he said, I've been to hell, and do you all know what's waiting there? Monsters that once made you all afraid of the dark. You should all go home and spend more time with your families before it's too late. And then Drax said, it's too late for me. And then I began to feel Drax lose hope, and he said, the only reason I'm alive now is because this man, he saved me from a horde of demons. Beings I thought were a myth from our parents to make us all be good little boys and girls. Turns out the demons you all talk about in your Bibles, they are all real. And then the biker said, I think it's time for you to leave, sir, so please leave. And then Drax drank his last shot and he said I was done drinking anyway, and then he walked away without any problems, and I also went with him. And then outside Drax said, they are all fools, Ken, they have no idea what you really do. And then I went back to my Fortress of Doom and I said to myself, I wonder if there are others like me, other Doomslayers. And then I said, I can't be the only one, I'm sure there must be different variants of myself. And then after me and Drax fought demons in hell for a while, all the events of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came and went because the main antagonist from the third Guardians of the Galaxy came to visit my new Saturn Earth, where he saw a perfect civilization of perfect beings, and he decided to ask me for my help, and I healed his stupid face and I gave him the information he needed, and I sent him on his way. After he talked to my wife Aisha and my son Adam Warlock, he decided to go back to his planet that he created, and he decided to start over, only this time he would make the perfect race of humans. And I never really liked him, but I don't hate him either, so I just showed him how to make the perfect race of humans. And after that a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy decided to stay on Nowhere after we saved a lot of innocent kids from that villain or whatever he calls himself. I hate even saying his name, it's so pretentious.